Bringing Rich Eisen from the NFL Network. You remember the first concert you went to, Rich?
I do. It was Chicago at the Nassau Coliseum. My dad drove me and three of my friends all the way from Staten Island out to see him. And there was a stand-up comic opening up for him. And I remember me and my friends looked at each other saying, what in the world is going on? That was my first one, yeah.
But you know what? I credit you because you didn't make up a bigger, better band name than Chicago.
Hey, Chicago was great in the 70s, but, you know.
The only reason why Chicago was great is because back then you wanted a song that was a long song if you were going to finally get up the guts to ask a girl to dance.
Yeah.
And so Color My World, all of a sudden, then all of a sudden you could just see these guys. They would be over on the other side of the gymnasium, and then Color My World would come on. And you go, uh-oh, here they come the Predators.
Yeah, I know.
They'd be stalking.
It would be always just my luck that I would ask the girl for Color My World in 25 or 6 to 4 would that start. That was always my luck back in the day.
What'd you think of Roger Goodell on the cover of Sports Illustrated in the Game of Thrones picture?
I loved it. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. And obviously I'm an NFL guy, so I got a big kick out of that. I don't know if the commissioner quite gets it. I don't think he's sitting there watching Game of Thrones and the Mother of Dragons and anything like that. But I loved it.
Are you surprised how much he gets paid?
Well, I mean, geez, I guess not. I mean, in this day and age, when you're in charge of a huge industry like that, and you took $1 for one huge year, and I'm sure I don't know what his deal calls for. Obviously,
it sounds like $1 million per team is what he gets. He gets.
I don't know. I think it's just maybe it was just based on the salary for the year. I don't think it's going to be that much next year. It's just bonuses and like a great job on holding a lockout and not losing a single game except the Hall of Fame game. I think it might have been a nice $29 million attaboy.
I had a couple of things I want to get to here.
Sure.
In no particular order.
Yes.
If you're looking at a lot of these free agents there, Mike Wallace, Charles Woodson, I don't know what's going to happen with Wes Welker. If you were going to
Jennings too.
Yeah, Jennings. If you were ranking these free agent stories, who would you start with?
I'd go with Welker just because of who he is and what he has meant to so many New Englanders and what he's meant to that team and what maybe the Patriots either value him or don't, and also the position that slot receivers have not really been paid in the NFL, and it's usually the guys outside of the numbers, but in this world where we're spreading people out and we're putting guys in the slot, and they sometimes can be as big as Gronkowski, or they can be as little as Wes Welker, is what will the league value somebody like Wes Welker? He's going to hit the open market unless there's an 11th hour deal, but free agency really begins tomorrow because of the new rule that they open the door for business. The window for discussion opens tomorrow. You just can't announce the deal. I guess the NFL and everyone figured, listen, everyone's talking 3 days before. Let's just make that legal and see how it works. So free agency really begins tomorrow. So he's going to, unless something happens today, hit the open market, and he's going to see what his value is and what does that mean for folks like Amendola, Victor Cruz, et cetera, and might this be a new paid position in the NFL?
I know that the Jets, we keep looking at that team saying, well, they're not ready to win anything, but you have Darrelle Revis. Do they need Revis even more now because you need somebody you're actually going to go and watch and appreciate?
Well, I think Rex needs Revis more than anyone else. I mean, this is his one last chance to win some games. And, Revis is their best. They've got two basic in the Jets. They've got two basic items of value, and one of them is their first-round draft pick, which is not really valuable this year. Mayock keeps saying there's, in his mind, no difference between the 5th and the 25th pick in the draft this year. So being 9 really is no great shakes. And it's Darrelle Revis. But you've got a guy who's coming off of a knee injury who wants to be paid at his position like a quarterback. And who's going to raise their hand right now and say, I'll give you a 1 this year and a 2 next year that could be maybe as good as a 1 if he gets X number of games under his belt or stats this year. I don't know who's going to do that. I honestly don't. Everyone's really thinking that Tampa might be the spot, and that the story that came out this week that the Falcons and Niners were landing spots was an agent-planted story, because neither of those teams really said that they were interested in him, even though technically they couldn't legally do that. But I would be surprised if anybody goes ahead and throws that much at the Jets for somebody who they don't know if can play this year or not.
I saw with the offensive coordinator for the Jets, Marty Morningweg, says the Jets can get by without an accurate quarterback. What the hell does that mean?
Well, get by, I mean, he thinks maybe just live, practice photosynthesis like all the other living organisms in the world, and then get through to 2014. I have no idea what that means.
So you can go 6 for 17 as long as those 6 are touchdown passes, I guess is what he said.
Listen, they've got 8 players eating up almost more than $80 million of the cap. They're in deep trouble. They're in massive trouble. And the Patriots are sitting there like Red Auerbach with their hands behind their head smoking a cigar. And the Dolphins are probably the team that's closest to them in the division right now. We'll see what the Bills can do. But the Patriots, whatever they do with Welker, I think they should re-sign him. He's a guy that Brady knows. He knows Brady. That's an amazing relationship that few quarterbacks have with their receivers. And if you got that, you should just stick with it. But that said, the Patriots are still the class of that division, regardless of what they do.
Whose career would you want? This is our poll question. Mo Rivera, Derek Jeter.
Oh, wow. I guess I'd have to go. Oh my Lord, I have to go with Rivera because he's the clear, far and away best ever. Period.
Yeah.
In Jeter, you could still have arguments with Ripken, Banks. You know, you could still throw names around at that position and say, well, this guy had this, that guy had that. Rivera it's just an end of story discussion with the number of saves that he has and his postseason career. I read an article I guess in today's New York Times about Rivera in which Joe Torre, quote unquote, flat out said he basically made my career, is what Joe Torre said. And, you know, obviously you could choose so many other players who helped make Torre's career, being Jeter one. You can go Pettit. You can throw him out there. You can also throw out the John Paul Jones of the Yankees, Scott Brocious. You know, you could throw in all these guys that did what they did for him. But I got to go with Rivera, who you got a little glimpse of it last year. I know Soriano did his job very well, but whoever's the next closer of the Yankees or shortstop for the Yankees, and I've said it too, quarterback of the New York Giants, Eli is in this mix. This is going to be tough shoes to fill in the New York landscape, whoever's the next guy.
Well, I think it's going to be tougher to fill Jeter's place at shortstop, and then it'll be tougher to fill Eli Manning's, and then it'll go Mo Rivera. I think you can be successful with the Yankees because they're always going to spend money. You'll have quality around you, and to be great, to have longevity, you have to have a great team around you. If they don't spend money, Jeter can be a good player, but he's not recognized as one of the greats of all time. But because they've won or put talent around him, he's been in big moments, he's produced. Mariano Rivera the same way.
I agree.
Eli Manning, you know, that he won 2 Super Bowls with him. Maybe he wins another one there. But I would think trying to replace Jeter is going to be tougher than anybody.
Well, just finding that shortstop, finding that guy who could be the glue for 15, 20 years in any organization, and at that position, and doing it the way that he has done it in New York City. Never see the photograph of him doing something stupid. Never hear him make a misstep, ever. It is truly remarkable in this era of the internet, Twitter, 24/7, sports talk radio, all of that stuff.
See, I'd rather be Jeter with a career because Rivera needed Jeter to get to the point where Rivera would come in the game. I mean, not necessarily Jeter all the time, but you had to have something that Jeter would do offensively or somebody else for him to come in to have a save opportunity. He was dependent on somebody else. Jeter had had big moments there.
Mr. November. The flip against the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Are we including lifestyle as well?
No, we didn't know because that's not fair. Because then, you get a courtesy gift basket, and all of a sudden that puts Jeets over the top of anybody there.
You get the courtesy gift basket.
Yes, I'd love that. Before I let you go, does the NFL need a team in Los Angeles?
No. I don't think right now it does. I'd love to have one, and I think it would be so successful here. But clearly they don't. I mean, that said, if the commissioner wants to reach what is the $25 billion revenue level at some point, obviously that would be a major help to it. To have a place in Los Angeles where you could hold a Super Bowl every fourth year, maybe even move a combine or two or draft or something like that out here and make that building a major part, and have a team have their value explode just merely by moving into the building. But for the moment, I think everything is still fine. But I would love to have one out here, and it would be hugely successful, by the way.
Do you have to have the Super Bowl in a site where you have an NFL team?
Yes, I think you do, because there's just so many towns that build their stadiums. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
That's what everybody thinks. So to hold it in a place.
Yeah, but that's not the case, though. Cincinnati's not getting a Super Bowl, or Pittsburgh's not getting a Super Bowl. So why couldn't Los Angeles get a Super Bowl, even if they don't have an NFL team?
Right. Well, we'll see, because, here's the thing, is there's no place to hold it. There's no place to hold it. And if you build one, there's going to be a team in it. And that's the issue. That's why there's nothing here yet. It's a chicken or the egg.
Why can't you have it at the Coliseum?
Because it's not even close to up to standards. It's not even remotely close.
Well, what are the standards you need?
Oh, you need luxury suites. You need all of that stuff.
You get 90, but they're going to redo this. USC's going to redo the Coliseum, so you're going to get some luxury boxes.
Do you have the inside scoop?
Well, just sources close to me tell me. That's all. That's all. These are sources. That's all you have to do is just say sources, Rich.
Just say sources. Say close to the situation. Are they close to the situation?
Sort of. Almost.
I would love to see, according to a source that is somewhat in the vicinity of the situation.
I got a source that is nowhere near the situation.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'd love to say.
I have a clueless source that is telling me they know somebody remotely close to the situation.
All right, I have to go.
That can't fit on the ticker, though. That can't fit on the bottom line.
All right. I got to go.
All right, Dan.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, Rich Eisen.
All right, buddy.
Host of NFL Game Day Morning Rich Eisen podcast on the NFL Network.